Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rachakwadash, and double honors unto the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to all you Akim out there pushing his word with all truth and sincerity, and to all you believers out there who believe in on the gospel. And it's the brother Quara Abai from the GMS Houston camp. And just want to go into a little lesson. I'm scrolling through here on RT News, and it's a couple of articles, going into the current events. Now, I'm sure as brothers and sisters been paying attention, Babylon the Great, and not just Babylon the Great, but all these different countries and nations around the world have been heavily pushing, um, C19 again, but now they have different variants. You see. So cases is on the rise again. You have all these countries talking about locking it down, you know, getting shot up with the juice, right? And they putting the focus of the problem on those who the unjuiced. That's a lack for the code words, but that's how we gotta speak, so they don't flag the page. But nevertheless, we see they making a fuss about those who haven't got shot up with Satan's potion. They saying that they are the problem, and they making a point to start to enact draconian laws, and we to that point now. But nevertheless, what I want to touch on in this lesson is that as we see the world and these governments, they policies and guidelines, they starting to tighten that grip. A lot of people's lives gonna get uncomfortable. A lot of big decisions gonna have to be made because you see New York and California, they're already telling state workers that look, starting I know for sure New York. Matter of fact, we don't know. Let's pull something up. NYC September 13th. Yep, let's pull it up so as y'all see. And what I'm gonna go into this lesson is that as we see things tightening up, hey, a lot of people gonna fold because of peer pressure. A lot of people gonna fold, right? Because they ain't truly standing on the rock. They're not rooted and grounded in their beliefs. Once things get tight, a lot of people, their morals gonna change, right? They so-called standard or they belief is gonna change in that day, man. So the point is that us knowing these things ahead of time, we should be getting our mind right now so that when more pressure come, we won't, be tossed to and fro like these people, that our belief don't get swayed, that we don't fall to the peer pressure of other people, feeling bad because we unjuiced and everybody mad because they got it and we don't. They're going to make us out to be the victim, among other things. But don't let that shake us, man. We know it's supposed to happen. And I'm going to get two accounts, real quick accounts on two men in the scriptures, who was persuaded to do the wrong thing by a multitude of people. And that's the same way time we coming in. A multitude of people gonna be swayed to do the wrong thing. A multitude of people gonna be caused to take these the juice from the government and to take that MOTB. But we have to stand on our rock, man, which is the Lord Yahweh Shai. Right? But let's get this article real quick. You see right here in New York, September 13th is requiring schools, right? Police, the fire department, who if you work for the city or the state, you gonna have to get that thing. And if you don't, you're gonna have to get tested every week. Hey, today in my job, somebody caught it. Now they put out an email talking about if you've been in contact with this person, go get, tested, and then let us know if you got it, so on and so forth, man. Hey, buku buku people shot out that job. They scared. The point is, just because they got the email saying, oh, somebody got it, they all shot out to go get the test. And if they get the test, what you think that's going to drive them to do? To get it. Just like they've been putting in the news, and start to pay attention to these things. The focus ain't just been on people catching it, right? In the hospital, on the news, they're talking about, oh, we got new new cases, but as they show you in the hospital scenes, they'll tell you, yeah, we have so and so in here. Now they was a non-believer at first, and they didn't believe on getting the vaccine, but now since they caught it, now they believe, and they had a person telling their story like, man, it's real. Man, y'all go ahead and get man, shut up. Shut up, nigga. But that's the point. These people gonna get persuaded, man. These people get persuaded. But let me start on this article real quick. And it's not just this article. I was just gonna read through a couple. I ain't just got no specific, direction I want to go with this lesson. But we'll get it in. Matter of fact, let's get a scripture first. Let's get a scripture first. Let's start with this. Matter of fact, let's get that. Like I said, we just rolling. This Jeremiah. Now listen. I read it too. Jeremiah 10:2. It says, "Thus saith the Lord Yahweh, learn not the way of the heathen." And the way of the heathen go be what? Because look, the heathens rule a government, right? They rule in the current empire. So the way of the heathen go be to put something in you when that's not the way of the Lord. But right here it says, learn not the way of the heathen and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven, for the heathen are dismayed. But this is what I wanted. Follow not a multitude to do evil. This Exodus 23. Exodus 23:2, it says, thou shalt not follow a multitude to do evil. And that's the thing. A lot of people, because why? Once one thing that get people to follow a multitude, peer pressure, right? Peer pressure, man. You feeling like you the eyeball out. Oh, I gotta make people, I don't want my citizens or, my neighbors to get sick. So I'm gonna go ahead and bow down. No, man. Just because they doing it don't mean nothing. Right? Just because when they go get this jab, just because they able to go back into the stores, go back out, that don't mean nothing. So-called, have a so-called comfortable life and don't have to get tested every week. Just because they get little so-called comforts here and there, shouldn't shake you to say, well, I want to be comfortable too. Let me go get it. No. But it says, follow not a multitude to do evil, neither shall thou speak in a cause to decline after many to rest judgment, man. Right? But let's read a couple articles and just see what and I'm gonna get two accounts that I had as well. But let's just read a couple articles, see what's going on in the news. Now this was an article posted on the 27th, July 27, which is today, right around noon. And it says Andrew Cuomo's plan to send officials, who is officials? That's the laws. To send officials to the homes of who? These people. We ain't gotta say it, them people. It says to the unjust and pressurize, peer pressure and pressurize them and drive them to jail is tyrannical. But this is the thing, they could say how tyrannical it is, how draconian it is, but guess what? It's gonna happen eventually. But it says the move by the New York governor smacks of forced coercion, not a public health prescription. Between this and his previous C-19 controversies, his policies has been a nightmare. It says it seems that the C-19 continues to create more and more mania as time goes on, and with all the discussion of the new variant, the D, there's talk of a return to lockdowns, mass mandates, and to all the restrictions that we've had to endure for much of the past 16 months. In other words, we about to go to that same period in time when y'all was saying it's the worst year ever. We about to go right back to how it was in 2020, even worse. That's what they saying. Hey, Revelation 13, right? That two horns, right? That's that as a lamb. Now he's starting to speak as a dragon. Hey, look, because look, Esau was able to cover up his wickedness, right? Like it said in Sirach 12, when that rust, he was able to cover up his wickedness with the characteristics of a lamb. But now, since he know that he got but a short time, now that's fading away. Now it's being shown, man. Hold on, why that lamb got sharp teeth? You feel me? You looking at the lamb like, why the lamb got sharp teeth? Why the lamb growling at me? Cause he ain't a lamb. He about to show you who he is, and that's the devil, man. It says, right. So it just goes on to what he said. Let's play it.
And we have to get in those communities, and we have to knock on those doors, and we have to convince people and put them in a car and drive them and get that vaccine in their arm. That is the mission. And we have to get in those
Matter of
communities.
fact, let me get a quick scripture. I'm gonna let him read it again speak again while I find it.
And we have to knock on those doors, and we have to convince people and put them in a car and drive them and get that vaccine.
It's 2nd Ezra 16, because he said they got to go to people's houses, get them to come out and drive them. How they gonna drive them? If they gonna drive them, they ain't gonna let the other people get in their car and just drive. No, they gonna take you, because you might turn around or hit a U-turn. They gonna take you. Right? And this is the times we coming in 2nd Ezra 16 and 68. It says, for behold, the burning wrath of a great multitude is kindled over you. And what's this burning wrath? That's that same great wrath as Revelation 12 and 12. This that same people, that same dragon is talking about. The Edomites about to come down with that great wrath because they know their rulership is over with. Then in the last seconds, they got to move fast. It says, for behold, the burning wrath of a great multitude is kindled over you. And they shall take away certain of you and feed you, being idle with things offered unto idols. Let's read this again, because this is lining up too perfectly with
Vaccine in their arm.
What he said. Let's replay it.
That is the mission. And we have to get in those communities, and we have to knock on those doors, and we have to convince people and put them in a car and drive them and get that vaccine in their arm. That is the mission.
That's the mission, and also the scripture. Now, it ain't just specifically talking about the vaccine, because the main thing they want to offer unto you or feed you with, put in you, is that Revelation 13 and 16, man. That MOTB. That's what they want to go ahead and put into you. But right now, it's the beginning phase of that, and it's by way of the juice. So it says, for behold, the burning wrath of a great multitude is kindled over you. You see what I'm playing? It says that they shall take away certain of you from where? From your house, and feed you, being idle in that concentration camp or that makeshift healthcare center, and feed you, being idle with things offered unto idols. And they that consent unto them, this I guess is going into the lesson. Those who are pressured by what's going on. Those who fall, for the trap. Those who couldn't say no because they seen military people behind these healthcare workers with guns, asking them and telling them, look, you need to get this. So those who agree and say, okay, and break, it says, and they that consent unto them shall be had in derision. We're in verse 69, shall be had in derision. You're going to get caught up. It says, and in reproach and trodden underfoot. That's going to be the wrong thing to do. You see? That's what the Lord said, 2nd Ezra 16 and 40. We're in the same chapter. Let's go up. Oh, my people, hear my word. Make you ready to the battle. Get ready for this, man. It says, and in those evils, when all this start to go on, right? In Jacob's trouble, it says, and in those evils, be even as pilgrims upon the earth. The Lord told us we have to be moving around. We ain't gonna consent unto them. No, we running from them. Trying to stay as far from these troops and people as possible. So going back down, so like I'm getting excited, man, because we living in this time. We living in this time. We ain't just when we watch the news, we don't watch it as these people of the earth watch it. We understand what's going on. We understand prophecy. When we see these people talking like this, we clearly understand what's about to happen. But they social media on Shade Room, niggas, right? All on laughing, making comments. Oh my God, I ain't never gonna happen. Man, look, the Lord about to really let everything unleash. But let's get into the scriptures, man. I don't want to stray too far. Right? So if you agree with him, it says, verse 69 at the end, you will be trodden underfoot, for there shall be in every place and in the next cities, just like Como was saying, we're going to go. Boom. You got New York popped it off. California now. Who going to be next? Right? It says, for there shall be in every place and in the next cities a great insurrection upon those that fear the Lord. And they shall be like madmen, sparing none. When they move in, they just gonna come. Like the Apostle Gabal. Sleep with some sweatpants on, a little hoodie, because they might come through in the morning. Boom. Right? Gunshots, flashlights, all that. Guard dogs, and not the little regular canines. We talking about Great Ralph. We talking about the mechanical dogs he saw coming with now, man. All that. They coming. And it's eventually when things get worse. Because look, they're going to do some things here and there. When they see people really still ain't about it, eventually he going to say, fuck it. We don't have enough time. When you're back against the wall, think of an animal. Any type of animal. When you're back against the wall, you have to strike. Esau back against the wall right now. He in straits, right? Both sides. He in straits. Because look, one, he don't have a lot of time to just think on what to do. Because the scriptures say he know that he have a short time. Time is on his ass. But this the thing. This the other part. But if he move too quick and make his move, then the Lord gonna make his move. The Most High gonna make his moves. So either way it go, he done. He's about to be to the bounds that he can't pass, man. And it says, and they shall be like madmen, sparing none, but still spoiling and destroying those that fear the Lord. For they shall waste and take away their goods and cast them out of their houses. That's what Como said. And of course, this mainly talk about doing Jacob's trouble, but this is the beginning stages of that. They talking about it. He literally just said this. And do what? And take away their goods and cast them out of their houses. And when Esau make this move, it says, and then shall they be known who are my chosen, and they shall be tried as gold in the fire. You see? The Lord gonna make a way, that standard gonna be lifted. And it says, hear, O ye my beloved, saith the Lord, behold, the days of trouble are at hand, but I will deliver you from the same. So that's why I come for life. So I guess, we can get into the lesson. I might, we could just get into it. I was gonna cut it, because I don't wanna, I guess it's leading to the lesson I wanted to go into anyway. So I guess we see all this gonna happen. Yeah, all this gonna happen. Now look, Yahweh Shai said for a reason, for us not to be ashamed. Because it's gonna come down to what we believe in ain't gonna be sexy in that day. Right now it's a fad, being a Hebrew Israelite is a fad because you gonna have, no. And mainly so when you standing against the government, that ain't gonna be sexy either. That's gonna be the main ones. But again, we shouldn't let what we believe in and this standard that the Lord have blessed us with to fold. Look at our forefathers, man. They stood even unto death. You see, but that's one article. Matter of fact, let's get an account to show that peer pressure, it could shake you. It could. Let's get this. I got one with Saul, King Saul, and I got one with Aaron. Let's get that. Salaki, hold on. Let me All right, here we go. Salaki. Get a little instrumental or something going. Let me pause it real quick. Hold on, I'm gonna be right back. All right, we good. Well, we good. So this Exodus 32. So let's get an example, right? On somebody I don't want to say breaking under pressure, but being persuaded by a multitude. Because again, the whole world gonna be. Let's get something real quick. I'm gonna get in my scripture. It was Revelation 3:10. It says, "Because thou hast kept the word of my patience," and it's the Lord Yahweh Shai speaking. So he telling the elect, look, because you have kept the word of his patience, and patience, what goes into suffering. So in other words, because we continue to believe through the suffering, right? Continue to fight through the so-called losses and affliction. This is what he gonna say in return. He said, I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth. Again, it's all the world, man. That great reset. We see how all these other countries saying the same thing. The elder brother in Vegas posted a lesson about that. It wasn't a lesson as far as him going into the scriptures, but it was like just little news clippings about how all these leaders of countries saying, look, we need every citizen to go ahead and take this thing. If not, we're gonna have to act in a way that y'all ain't see us act before. you know. But it says to try the world, but that's the point. That's that multitude. The whole world is gonna literally be us against the world. Like it said in Acts with Jason them. It says these that have turned the world upside down, they're gonna blame it on us. But let's get into it. It's dealing with Aaron. This is Exodus 32 and 1. It says, and when the people saw that Moses delayed to come down out of the mount, the people gathered themselves together unto Aaron. Now this Moses, he was up in on the mount, with 40 days, and it says, and the people gathered themselves together unto Aaron and said unto him, up, make us gods. So they mad because you go into other, um, accounts of this, and they felt some type of way because Moses was up there complaining. It's our people too complaining, mad. So they go to Aaron and say, and said unto him, up, Aaron, get up and make us gods which shall go before us. For as for this Moses, for as for your brother, it says, the man that brought us up out of the land of Egypt, we wot not what is become of him. We don't know where he at. How we know he didn't just leave us here and he ran off? Where he at? It says, and Aaron said unto them, break off the golden earrings which are in the ears of your wives and your sons and your daughters, and bring them unto me. And all the people break off the golden earrings which were in their ears and brought them unto Aaron. So what he did, he consented unto them, just like going back 2 Ezra 16. If he consent unto them, right? Remember, hey, Aaron ain't making into the promised land either. You see, his garments was given to his son. But so yeah, they told him get up. Now look, hey, this remind me of that account with that old prophet and the young prophet, when the Most High told the young prophet, when you go into the city, don't come the same way you already came, and don't eat or drink nothing. He was commanded that before he went into the city. He was commanded that by the Most High. And he went into the city the first time. The king offered him, man, come to my house, eat, drink with me, come chill. He said, nope. He said, nope. The Most High told me, don't eat, don't drink, don't go the same way. So he passed the first test. Then it happened again. He said, nope. The Most High told me, don't eat, don't drink, don't go the same way. He passed the second test. Then a man came to him. He said, hey, what's up? Matter of fact, let's get that. Man, let's get that real quick. I don't know what chapter it is. All right, here it is. 1 Kings 13. And I pretty much, I'm going to read up to what I was explaining. All right, so this is the third test from him. So a man came to him. It says, verse 14, and went after the man of God. So this is man. His sons told him about the prophet, the young prophet, and he was like, where he at? And so he went after him, and there's him speaking to that prophet who the Most High commanded, right? So it says, I read 13, and he said unto his son, saddle me the ass. So they saddled him the ass, and he rode thereon and went after the man of God and found him sitting under an oak. And he said unto him, art thou the man of God that camest from Judah? And he said, I am. Then he said unto him, come home with me and eat bread. You see? He said, look, come, come eat. And it says, and he said, I may not return with thee, nor go with thee, neither will I eat bread nor drink water with thee in this place, for it was said to me by the word of Yahweh. So he acknowledged that the Most High already told him something. Just like the Most High already told us, Revelation 14, 9 and 10, right? Let's get it real quick. What he already told us? Revelation 14 and 9. And the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast and his image, you go along with this society. And what's one of the things right now that this society is offering that you're gonna have to go along with? Getting that juice, right? That deadly wound that was healed. It's that same functioning society as it was when it was in the time of Rome. And it says, and receive his mark, talking about this beast system, and receive his mark, which the MOTB, in his forehead or in his hand, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of the Most High, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation, and he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb. When Yahweh Shai and the angels come back. So in other words, that scripture telling you right there, if you get the chip, the Lord gonna get you through Jacob's trouble. And I'm not saying as far as the good get you through Jacob's trouble, because at the end with that seventh, because in Job it says 6 troubles, he put all those together, but that seventh was separate. You feel me? That seventh in Job 5 was separate, because what's that seventh? That's those missiles. That's when that separation go come. Because look, even 2/3 gonna be got through Jacob's trouble. The Lord gonna be making them get through Jacob's trouble too. Why? So they can get the worst judgment. They're gonna be here for when the missiles hit. You feel me? So the Lord, if you get that chip, yeah, you go ahead. The Lord gonna let you go back into society. You gonna be able to buy and sell. Go ahead. Go live your life. Go ahead. Go back to happy hour. But you just being saved for the missiles. But let's go back to it. So that's what the Most High told us. So he acknowledged right here, right, that the Most High already told him, don't eat, don't drink, neither return to the same place. Verse 18, and he said unto him, so this is the old man replied with, he said unto him, I am a prophet also as thou art. I'm a prophet too. It says, and the angel spake unto me by the word of Yahweh. He even used the Most High name, is all caps, Lord. He used the Most High name. It says, and the angel spake to me by the word of Yahweh, saying, bring him back with thee into thine house, that he may eat bread and drink water. But he lied unto him. Now look, verse 19. So he went back with him and did eat bread in his house and drank water. So just because the man said, I'm a prophet too. He said, and the angel told me to tell you that the Lord Yahweh said, come back and eat and drink with me. That goes back to, we remember what was written, what we've been taught, what we've been applying this whole time, what we've been taught, going back to the doctrine. Hey, that's what we've been trying to the best of our abilities to walk therein, right? So it says right here, when it came down to it, he forgot what the Most High told him just because another man said, an angel told me. But the scriptures say, Apostle Paul said, even if an angel come to you, let him be accursed. We know what the Most High told us at the end of the day. So going back to it, we know when pressure get tight in Babylon the Great, Revelation 14, 9 and 10, we know what the Most High said. We know what's going to happen. We know the end. We already know the end. We know we can read our victory within the scriptures. We could literally read Revelation 20. Let's get it real quick. Us overcoming this period. Lord, I'm saying us because, hey, speaking into existence. Hey, we believe we the prophets, right? Shit. Hey, you know, Lord willing, man. That's the expectation at the end of the day. Let me get this. Revelation 20:4. And I saw thrones, and they that sat upon them, and judgment was given unto them. Now, this is the Apostle John saying the elect, starting with the 12 apostles, you know, and King David being that first apostle, you know. He seen him sitting on thrones. Because when Yahweh Shah rule, we gonna rule. He seen them sitting on thrones. But this is what it says. And I saw thrones, and they that sat upon them, and judgment was given unto them. This already our victory. We reading it. We're going to eventually sit on thrones, Lord willing. We are part of that number because the elect going to do it regardless. And it says, and I saw the souls of them that were beheaded for the witness of Yahweh Shai, for the word of the Most High, which had not worshipped the beast. And that's what it's coming down to. In order to get by and not to be an outcast, you're going to have to worship the beast. In other words, whatever the system wants, you're going to have to comply. You're going to get down and lay down. And lay down and put your hand, you know, all that, man. And it says, and worship the beast, neither his image, neither had received his mark upon their foreheads or in their hands, and they lived and reigned with Mashiach 1,000 years. That's the victory already written on the time what we about to go through. It's about to be a Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego type time when Nebuchadnezzar told him what? Let's get it. And it's gonna be a long lesson, you know. But this is going into everything because these examples we getting like Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, they wasn't pressured into bowing because everybody else did. You know, I think that's Daniel 3. They weren't pressured into bowing like everybody else did. Yup. I'm gonna just get straight to it. This Daniel 3. I'm gonna just start at 1. It says Nebuchadnezzar the king made an image of gold whose height was 60 cubits, and that's that image. You know, spiritually today, that image is the ways of this current beast, you know, which is when it goes into the image, an image is just a copy of something. And the lifestyle of America is just a copy of the Roman Empire. But right here, Nebuchadnezzar actually built a statue, you know. But in our sense, is you believing in this place, you going along with it. When a new Maxine come out, you don't have a problem with going to get that. You with it. Right? So it says, he set it up in the plain of Dura in the province of Babylon. Ain't we in Babylon? Revelation 18, Babylon the Great. It says, then Nebuchadnezzar the king sent together the princes, the governors, the captains, the judges, and the treasurers. Right? It says, and the treasurers, and the counselors, the sheriffs, and all the rulers of the provinces to come to the dedication of the image which Nebuchadnezzar the king had set up. So look, hey, in other words, everybody gonna be with it. Because everybody coming to the dedication of it. So again, in our sense, spiritually, hey, going into that, in our sense, you're gonna have the governors. You see what Cuomo and them talking about? It says the captains, the judges gonna be with it. The judicial system, right? The treasurers. I did a lesson yesterday and went into how the ADL, the Anti-Defamation League, is linking with PayPal right now. Yeah, linking with PayPal to stop terrorism and extremists. That's going into the treasure. So money eventually go come into the play because it's about to be digital. And it says the counselors, the sheriffs, the law enforcement, and all the rulers of the provinces, whoever had power within this system, right? Teachers, doctors, lawyers, NFL, sports, whatever, to come to the dedication of the image which Nebuchadnezzar the king had set up. Quick definition of dedication. And let's see what it is. Okay, the act of building a church. Hey, building. So and what today they building? What they label it? The global reset. But in other words, is that new world order. It says, verse 3, then the princes, the governors, the captains, the judges, the treasurers, the counselors, the sheriffs, and all the rulers of the provinces were gathered together unto the dedication of the image that Nebuchadnezzar the king had set up. So they did it. They went along with it. So if you work there, right? If you stayed there, you shopped there, you had to go along with it eventually. That's what we coming into. Because next it says, and they stood before the image that Nebuchadnezzar had set up. Then a herald cried aloud, to you it is commanded, O people, nations, and languages. What it said in Revelation 3 we had got through the Spirit. Is going to come upon all the world to try everybody. Which shows that it's a locky, little scatterbrain, but it'll show you that's that Revelation 13 when it says he calls of all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive that mark. That's that hour of temptation. When times get hard, it's gonna be who you gonna trust on time. You either gonna trust on the Lord or you gonna have to go to the government for your necessities. It says, and if you go to him, what you ain't just go in there and just go help. You're gonna have to bow down. So it says that at what time, is telling all nations that at what time you hear the sound of the cornet, the flute, the harp, the sackbut, the psaltery, and the dulcimer, and all kinds of music. So when we begin this, right, start to celebrate. That's when spiritually talking about it, because again, this actually happened. But spiritually, he saw getting happy because he thinking he about to fulfill his belly, as it said in Job. So it says, you shall fall down and worship the golden image that Nebuchadnezzar the king has set up. When we about to start it, y'all gonna get with it. And whosoever falleth not down, this that other side of the coin. Whosoever falleth not down and worshipeth, shall the same hour. This is their hour of temptation. Like we gonna have our hour of temptation when we tempted to take that jab, man. Well, not the jab, but that MOTB. You see? And it ain't just 1 hour like you get in line. Like, man, what time you go, man? Shit, mine from between 7 and 8. Oh damn, mine from 4:30 to 5. Nah, man, it's just a period of time. You ate through Jacob's trouble. Whenever, hunger. Now they gonna be feeding you. You gotta go behind FEMA though. You gotta get that thing. What you gonna do? Or you gonna believe that a raven can come or the Lord gonna work a miracle? But right here, if you don't bow down, like it said in Revelation 13, let's read it real quick. It says, I'm gonna continue this in Daniel 3:6. And whosoever falleth not down and worshipeth shall the same hour be cast into the midst of a burning fiery furnace. Therefore, go up, verse 7. Therefore, at that time, when all the people, so they were scared of the judgment. So it says, therefore, so since they heard that, since they was like, damn, I ain't about to be cast into a fiery furnace. That's what therefore mean, huh? Moreover, because of that, therefore, at that time, so when they heard it, when it began, it says, when all the people heard the sound of the cornet, the flute, the harp, the sackbut, the psaltery, and all kinds of music, all the people, the nations, and the languages fell down and worshiped the golden image that Nebuchadnezzar the king had set up. And that's the time we coming into. Hey, you gonna get down with that NWO, or you gonna stand up with the Lord? Either. That's why Yahweh Shai, or it said in Ephesians 6, having that whole armor and having done all to stand. So we don't bow down, but having done all to stand. Yahweh Shai said, when he comes, shall he find faith on earth? But yep, verse 12. And it says, there are certain Jews, because Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, they bow down. Hold on, Salak. All right, Salak, I skip some. So it says, verse 8, wherefore at that time certain Chaldeans came near and accused the Jews. So when this happened, when everybody bowed down to that image, certain Israelites ain't bowed down. So now you got these, in this case, Chaldeans, but Americans go and tell the authority. They looking for they got a problem with the Israelites now. Because they ain't going along. They the problem. So it says, accuse the Jews. They spake and said to the king Nebuchadnezzar, O king, live forever. Thou, O king, has made a decree that every man that shall hear the sound of the cornet, the flute, the harp, the sackbut, the psaltery, and dulcimer, and all kinds of music shall fall down and worship the golden image. It says, and whoso falleth not down and worshipeth, that he should be cast in the midst of a burning fiery furnace. There are certain Jews who thou hast set over the affairs of the province of Babylon. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, these men, O king, have not regarded thee. They serve not thy gods, nor worship the golden image which thou hast set up, man. They had to be there in that Revelation 20 and 4 that we got. They had to be present in there. They had to be there in that second Ezra 2. Because these men didn't bow down. You see? And it says, verse 13, and Nebuchadnezzar in his rage and in his fury commanded to bring Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Then they brought these men before the king, and Nebuchadnezzar spake and said unto them, hold on real quick. Hold on, Salaki. Yeah. All right, so it says, verse 13, then Nebuchadnezzar in his rage and fury commanded to bring Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Then they brought these men before the king, and Nebuchadnezzar spake unto them. So, hey, Yahweh Shai told us we're going to be brought before kings and governors and rulers for his name's sake. Again, this is their time. Nothing is new under the sun. The spirit of prophets are subject to the prophets. These men had to be some type of believers. But it says, Nebuchadnezzar spake unto them, it is true. Is it true, O Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, that ye do not serve my gods, nor worship the golden image which thou hast set up? And it says, which thou hast set up, it says, now if you be ready, so he about to give him another chance. Now if you be ready, that at what time you hear the sound of the cornet, the flute, the harp, the sackbut, the psaltery, the dulcimer, and all kinds of music, right? And all kinds of music, it says, ye fall down and worship the image which I have made. And well, but if you worship not, ye shall be cast the same hour, this the hour of temptation, into the midst of a burning fiery furnace. And who is that God that shall deliver you out of my hands? Little did he know, huh? The Most High Yahweh. And he got Yahweh Shai, man. Like Yahweh Shai told Pilate, when Pilate told Yahweh Shai, he said, don't you know I got the power to crucify you or let you go? And Yahweh Shai's response was, you have no power at all against me, except it was given you from above. Man, we serve the power that control all things. We got the example of him holding back the mouths of lions for men. Daniel in the lion's den. How was it possible that hungry lions ain't eat Daniel? Men being saved in the elements as far as weather, which Yahweh Shai and the disciples on the boat. Hey, in Job 5, it also says that the beasts of the field will be at peace with us. People. Hey, so look, hey, coming into Jacob's trouble again. That's that Job 5, them 6 and that 7, that 7th. Through all of it, Psalms 91, the Lord gonna be there. Just like Yahweh Shah was there for these men. He told us, Revelation 3, he gonna be there for us in that hour of temptation. He gonna come through. That standard gonna be lifted to a higher level. We coming to that. And it says, who is that God that shall deliver you out of my hands? And Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego answered and said to the king, O king, Nebuchadnezzar, we are not careful to answer thee in this matter. I want to see what that's saying. Another verse. Let me see how they said. We are not careful to answer thee in this matter. Check this out. So it say, this how they was coming. It says, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego replied to him, NIV version, King Nebuchadnezzar, we do not need to defend ourselves before you in this matter. So look, hey, man, we ain't got to tell you nothing, man. We just ain't gonna bow to your statue. We ain't gotta answer you. Look, ESV, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego answered and said to the king, O Nebuchadnezzar. Look, they on this version, they ain't even call him king. They just said, O Nebuchadnezzar, we have no need to answer you in this matter. Man, come on, man. Yeah, he ain't even call him king. Look, because the KJV, he ain't call it. It said Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego answered and said to the king. This is what they said. This was should be in quotations. O Nebuchadnezzar. They just, yeah. So going back to it, and I'm gonna end it, because I don't want it to be too long. I wanted to get that account with King Saul when he sacrificed, the sacrifice too early because he didn't think Samuel was gonna show up. And then Samuel showed up, and Samuel was like, "Man, what you doing?" He was like, "Man, because of the people, because of the people was crying and worried. I had did the sacrifice, but I was gonna get that as an example, of the pressure of other people could force, somebody to, do something. That's why we gotta pray. Like in 2 Ezra 16, the end of that it says that the Lord gonna be our guide, man. And Lord willing, He do be our guide. But let's finish this. Let's see what happened to him. And it says, "We are not careful to answer then this matter." Verse 17. If it be so, our power whom we serve is able to deliver us from the burning fiery furnace, and He will deliver us out of thine hand, O King. So Lex, we ain't gotta answer you, but the power we serve, Yahweh, He gonna deliver us out of this fire. And it says, but if He don't, it said, be it known unto thee, O King, that we will not serve thy gods, nor worship the golden image which thou hast set up. Even if He don't deliver us, that's cool. We still ain't gonna bow down to your gods. We still ain't go along with everybody else because they did it. That's why Yahweh Shai said, be not ashamed of him in this adulterous and wicked generation. Roughly paraphrase, we, Lord willing, ended off on that. We don't have to be ashamed of what we believe in and what we doing in the face of these people. Yahweh Shah was serious when He told us wicked scribes and Pharisees, He's from above, they from below. The same way we should look at these average Americans. They from below. Look at their life. Look how they live. Look how they live, man. But they look at us as, bums. And come on, man. We talking about pedophiles. We talking about, man, opioid addicts. We talking about, man, so much stuff to name here in Babylon the Great. And can't say too much because they're going to strike it on your page. But it says, so they said, look, we still ain't going to worship. It says, then was Nebuchadnezzar full of fury, and the form of his visage was changed. And Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego was changed against Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. And therefore he spake and commanded that they heat the furnace 17 times more than it wont to be heated. All right, so hotter than it ever been. And again, that's spiritual. Because look, at this, man, that's spiritual. Because this right here was hotter than it ever been. Lord, wouldn't that been be my next lesson? Because look, what Yahweh Shai said, there's gonna be a time like never before that the Lord gonna have to save us out of. That's hotter than it ever been. In the heat of the battle. In the heat of the battle. hotter than ever been. And that's gonna be the power of the Lord gonna be shown, man. A time like never before. A judgment we gonna be saved out of like never seen before, man. Wisdom of Solomon 5 by way of chariots, man, so-called UFOs at that. Man, it says, and he commanded the most mighty men that were in his army to bind Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Right. When they send them troops, it ain't just gonna be no healthcare people. Yeah, it's gonna start off at that, but especially at the elect, they gonna send drones, tanks, all that. The little dogs, robots, military. They ain't gonna just have the regular policeman with his shirt tucked in with just a bulletproof vest on with his badge. No, he gonna be in a whole outfit, a Halo outfit. You know, not Halo as the Angels. I'm talking about the game. I don't really be on a game like that. You know, or whatever type outfit. You know, like a super soldier or something. You know, shield, all that. But yeah, that's what they go send at the elect, man. The strongest soldiers, the military. That's him coming in like a flood, but the Lord gonna lift up a standard. So it says, verse 20, and he commanded the most mighty men that were in his army to bind Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego and to cast them into the burning fiery furnace. And these men were bound, so they tied them up in their coats, clothes on, their hosen, and their hats, and their other garments, and were cast into the midst of the burning fiery furnace. That's also spiritual. They was thrown in there with their whole garment on. Hey, with their whole garment on, man. That's us keeping that garment. So we don't be found naked. We gotta go into Jacob's trouble with the whole garment. That's that Ephesians 6, that whole armor. They got thrown in there with everything, man. It says, verse 21, these men were bound in their coats, their hosen, and their hats, and their other garments, and were cast into the midst of the burning fiery furnace. They had the whole armor on, spiritually looking at that, you know. But it says, therefore, because the king's commandment was urgent and the furnace exceeding hot, the flames of the fire slew those men that took up Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. And so it was so hot that it burnt the little soldiers who threw them in there. And it said, and these three men, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, fell down into the midst of the burning fiery furnace. Right? It says, then Nebuchadnezzar the king was astonished and rose up in haste. Now you got to picture it. Right? They threw him up in there. They Nebuchadnezzar and everybody out there looking, looking in a furnace. And when you go into the songs of the three holy children in the Apocrypha, it goes into how high it was. It said that the fire was like, I forget the cubits, but like a lot of cubits higher, than the whole furnace itself. So the flame was high. The flame was high. And look, they was looking for screams. They wasn't screaming. They was looking for him to be, they wasn't doing that. So that's why he was astonished. And he was like, huh? It says, then Nebuchadnezzar the king was astonished and rose up in haste and spake and said unto the counselors, because at this time they getting up now. It says, and said unto the counselors, did not we cast three men bound into the midst of the fire? And they answered and said unto the king, true, O king. Yeah, it was three, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Yeah, it was three of them. It says, he answered and said, lo, I see four men loose. Because remember, they was bound. They was tied up. But he said, I see four men loose, walking in the midst of the fire, and they have no hurt. And the form of the fourth is like the son of the Most High, man. That's Yahushua. Spirit of Yahushua was there with them in that fire. Revelation 3 and 10. It's worthy to read again. Hey, and I ain't even meant for that to rhyme. Revelation 3 and 10. Because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth, man. Come on, man. In this whole chapter, everybody bowed down. But it was a small remnant. It was a small sanctuary, just these men. And that's why the spirit of Yahushua was there, because 2 and 3 was gathered. So, So the law was there, you know. But it says, and and he answered and said, Lo, I see 4 men loose, walking in the midst of the fire, and they have no hurt. That's that Psalms 91 all the way, man. It says, and the form of the fourth, and the fourth one looked like, it says, in the form of the fourth is like the Son of the Most High. Then Nebuchadnezzar came near to the mouth of the burning fiery furnace and spake and said, Shadrach, Meshach, and he probably creeped up scared. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, ye servants of the Most High, of the Most High power, come forth and come hither. Then Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego came forth of the midst of the fire, and the princes and governors and captains and kings and counselors, being gathered together, saw these men upon whose bodies the fire had no power. Going into the power of the Lord. He controlled the elements, man. Remember, when it was thundering and lightning and water was going into the boat, the disciples was tripping, but Yahweh Shah was asleep. And then he got up calm, he calmed the weather. And the disciples said, what type of man is this? That even the wind and the rain listened to him. Come on, man. It said the spirit of the Most High will be in that fire. Man, you know. But it says, upon whose bodies the fire had no power, nor was a hair of their head singed. Think about that. Think about how quick a piece of hair could catch on fire. Ain't even touch them. It says, neither was their coats changed. Woo! Hey, through the fire, they ain't bow at all. Through the fire, they ain't run out and said, all right, all right, all right. Or none of that. They got through there. Neither was their coats. It says neither was their coats changed. Now in this context, of course, they were still fresh. They ain't had no burnt marks. They ain't smell like smoke. It's because it says nor the smell of fire had passed on them. But us spiritually looking at that, like it said in what that is, Second Ezra 2. Let me see. I might be wrong. Let's see. But I'm getting excited though. But it says neither was their coats changed, man. Because look, we got the garments now. And we're gonna have that same truth going up into the chariots, but we're gonna have just a new body, But it's gonna be that same spirit ultimately, you know. But we ain't gotta get it. We ain't gotta get it because it's already, long. But yeah, so like I got excited. It says, then Nebuchadnezzar spake and said, blessed be the power of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, who have sent his angel and delivered his servants that trusted in him, and have changed the king's word and yielded their bodies that they might not serve nor worship any god except their power. And that's what's going to happen after we come through that fire. It says we're going to praise the Most High through the fire. Isaiah 24. When we come off the chariots, everybody going to get down, and we're going to put that mindset of Nebuchadnezzar right here in them. They're going to worship and serve Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai and us as they people, man. All nations. And it says, therefore, I make a decree that, and it's going to say it right here, and we can end it off. Therefore, I make a decree that every people, nation, and language which speak anything amiss against the power of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego shall be cut in pieces, and their houses shall be a dunghill, because there is no other God that can deliver after this sort. Yeah, man. You see? So let's get on. I know I said that was gonna be it, but that's what Yahweh Shai said. This was gonna come down to, our temptation, in the time of need. All right, real quick. This is Yahweh Shai said. Nah, this not it. Let's see. I don't know. All right, Mark 8:38. It says, Whosoever therefore shall be ashamed of me and of my words in this adulterous and sinful generation. And again, think about these wicked people. That's the reason the Most High gonna destroy it. That's why we supposed to separate from it. You know, just like the what that Abraham. He told the Lord, he was like, all right, if it be 50 men, don't destroy it. The Lord was like, nope. He like, all right, 40. Then it went down to like 10, I believe, or you know, it's a like if I'm giving the wrong number, but that's the point. The same thing at Babylon the Great. Everybody gonna get destroyed but the elect, and it's for a reason. So we can't even fathom the wickedness that's going on in this world. We only know what we know. And I think as the scripture says, it's a shame to talk about what's going on in secret. And the new, I believe it's in Luke, but right here it says, so Yahweh Shai says, whosoever therefore shall be ashamed of me and of my words in this adulterous and sinful generation, of him also shall the Son of Man be ashamed when he cometh in the glory of his Father with the holy angels. That's that Revelation 14, 9 and 10 again. That's in the presence of the Lamb and the angels right there. When they over America looking down, that's the lake of fire. Why? Because in this time, when stuff got a little tight, Yahweh Shai get the parable of the seed, the sower seed. Some who fell on, the I believe it was the stony ground. And when, let's see, I gotta get it. So like I don't want to misquote it. I know it's Mark 4. I just get it real quick. I believe it's Mark 4. All right, this is Mark 4. And 17. 16. And these are they which are sown on stony ground, who, when they have heard the word, immediately receive it with gladness. Right? They with it. They with it. It says, and have no root in themselves, which, still shaking on some breakdowns. No, well, I won't say breakdowns because it ain't all about knowing breakdowns, but still shaking on some of the things that the doctrine say, as far as you don't really, I don't know, you know. But let's see where we at. It says, and have no root in themselves. You might say the Lord might put you through a situation. You're going through hell. Like for Job, for example. You see Job, for example. And you get tired. Now, Job could have easily said, agree with his wife, and when she said, curse the Most High and die, he said, man, you know what? It ain't worth it. Going through all this hell ain't worth it. Just like in a time when the MOTB, in order to buy and sell, get by, you're going to have to do what? Get down with it. Because why? In that time, when you had children, they will be hungry, you will be hungry. You don't have root to believe in the prophecies. You don't really believe that the Lord going to send angels, You don't really believe in the chariots because you watch one body in Yahweh Shai, so you don't believe the chariot is real. So you still don't, you trying to consider like, well, how can we be saved from like, you're confused. You have no roots. And you believe all you one of them Old Testament Israelites, or whatever. You don't even have Yahweh Shai to stand on. But it says they have no root in themselves and so endure for a time. And afterward, when affliction or persecution ariseth, what we about to go through for the word's sake, immediately they are offended. So that's what it is. So going back to this, Mark 38, and I end it in 8 and 38. Whosoever therefore shall be ashamed of me and of my words in this adulterous and sinful generation, of him also shall the Son of Man be ashamed when he cometh in the glory of his Father with the holy angels. You gotta be left here, man. Lord willing, we are that number that the Lord God is. But hey, with that, Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. Hey, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bashim Yahushua Bashim Rachak Wadash, and with that, Shalom.